Welcome back, everyone. Today we have more information on the tariffs being imposed on other countries, as well as the Panama Canal being abandoned by China, and China's being forced to bend the knee to Trump. I mean, we're even seeing Canada fold like a chair as Trump continues to double down on these tariffs. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on all this after the video. Let's get into it.
I'll be announcing the tariffs on Canada and Mexico for a number of reasons. Number one is the people that have poured into our country so horribly and so much. Number two are the drugs, fentanyl, and everything else that have come into the country. And number three are the massive subsidies that we're giving to Canada and to Mexico in the form of deficits. And I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico. And we will really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
Will oil be part of that, though? Because we get oil from Canada.
Oil is going to have nothing to do with it as far as I'm concerned. Oil has nothing to do with it.
These tariffs will go into effect tomorrow.
Yep.
25% on Canada and Mexico, 10% on China. Are you expecting retaliation?
We'll see what happens, but I think, unfortunately, the retaliation has already happened. The problem with this whole idea that they're going to retaliate is they have already been taking advantage of America for decades. The retaliation is Donald Trump saying no more. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore, and I think it's important the president is doing what he's doing. Now, look, it looks different ways and comes in different forms, whether you're talking about Canada or China or Mexico. We know that Mexico has allowed the facilitation of the illegal drug trade and illegal sex trafficking for years and has done nothing about it. If they want to be a better partner to us, the time starts now. We know the Chinese, of course, have stolen American manufacturing jobs for 30, 40 years, and also that they facilitated the trafficking of illegal fentanyl into Mexico, where the drug cartels then bring it into our country. We are sick of being taken advantage of. We still have, thank God, the biggest economy in the entire world, the best people and the best workers, but the message from President Trump to the entire world is very clear. We are done being taken advantage of, and we have a president who looks out for the interests of American citizens. Thank God we do, and we're going to try to do it the best.
Let's take a look at how some of the liberal media is responding to these tariffs and other countries as well.
Trump has sparked a potential trade war between the U.S. and its two closest economic allies, Mexico and Canada, after announcing 25% tariffs on most goods from those two countries. The president also announced a 10% tariff on Chinese goods. As CBS's Christian Benavides reports, the move is likely to raise the price of some goods for Americans.
The tariffs levied against Mexico, Canada, and China are set to go into effect on Tuesday. They could lead to a rise in the price of cars, energy, spirits, lumber, and across the agriculture sector. President Donald Trump says they're necessary and in response to illegal immigration, illicit fentanyl, and trade deficits.
Tariffs don't cause inflation, they cause success. Cause big success. So we're going to have great success. There could be some temporary short-term disruption, and people will understand that.
Mexico and Canada are set to face 25% tariffs, with the exception of Canadian energy at 10%. China will face 10% tariffs. The three are the U.S.'s biggest trading partners.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has already retaliated and said the country was also considering non-tariff measures, including some related to critical minerals and energy. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said retaliatory tariffs are also in the works. The Nonpartisan Tax Foundation says tariffs could cost the average American family about $800 a year. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
And China has vowed corresponding countermeasures to the tariffs without announcing specifics. They've also said they would file a case against the U.S. with the World Trade Organization. Economists say 25% tariffs against goods coming from Mexico and Canada could have a near immediate impact on the price Minnesotans and Wisconsinites pay for food and for gas. Currently, the two countries provide nearly 30% of all our imported goods. 60% of America's fresh fruit comes from out of the country, as well as 40% of our vegetables. Those prices could end up increasing nearly immediately, say local economists.
Now we've got Trump responding to the trade war, to the tariffs, and how he's doubling down on it further.
Increase the tariffs against Canada.
Well, it could happen. If they do anything, we will. Canada's been very abusive of the United States for many years. They don't allow our banks. Did you know that? Canada does not allow banks to go in. If you think about it, that's pretty amazing. If we have a U.S. bank, they don't allow them to go in. Canada's been very tough on oil, on energy. They don't allow our farm products in, essentially. They don't allow a lot of things in, and we allow everything to come in. It's been a one-way street. We subsidize Canada by the tune of about $200 billion a year. And for what? What do we get out of it? We don't get anything out of it. I love the people of Canada. I disagree with the leadership of Canada. And something's going to happen there. But if they want to play the game, I don't mind. We can play the game all they want. Mexico, we've had very good talks with them. And this is retaliatory. This is retaliatory to a certain extent. Millions of people flowed into our country through Mexico and Canada. And we're not going to allow that. No, I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country. We have tremendous potential if properly used, and we have to focus on our country. Tremendous deficits with China, tremendous deficits with the European Union, tremendous deficits with Mexico and Canada. And why? What's the purpose of that? Why would we have deficits? And you look at, if you look at pharmaceuticals and drugs, if you look at various products, it's much cheaper in other countries. We're not going to allow that much longer. We're not going to take it. We're not allowed to violate the agreement. China's running the Panama Canal. That was not given to China. That was given to Panama foolishly. But they violated the agreement, and we're going to take it back, or something very powerful is going to happen.
Una cosa importante, que es una decisión que adopté y se la comuniqué. El memorándum de entendimiento del año 2017 sobre la ruta de la seda de Belt and Road Initiative no será renovado por mi gobierno. Eso es así. Vamos a estudiar la posibilidad de si se puede terminar antes o no, pero creo que le toca en 1 o 2 años la renovación, porque es cada 3. Así que esa iniciativa que se firmó, cuando se firmó, en el tiempo que se firmó, no será renovada por mi gobierno. Creo que esta visita abre un camino para construir una nueva etapa de relaciones. Así lo veo yo, así lo sentí de parte del secretario Marco Rubio, y a la vez tratar la medida de lo posible de que se incrementen las inversiones de los Estados Unidos en Panamá. Le expliqué una serie de proyectos de infraestructura que el gobierno tiene en carpeta, en cartera, con el ánimo de que las conozcan y en su momento que se hagan las licitaciones, que comenzarán muy pronto, pues se pueda entrar.